Here are three numbers that tell you everything about how badly big tech is fumbling. AI pricing, 20%. That's how much Slack raised the price of its Business Plus plan. Whether you wanted AI features or not, zero. That's what Zoom charges for AI. Sounds generous until you understand why they had to give it away. And six, that's the number of days it took developers to burn through an entire month of GitHub Pilot's premium request budget. Three massive companies, three completely different approaches to pricing AI, and all three walked into a wall. I've been studying these rollouts closely, not because they're pricing stories, but because they're trust stories. And in this video, I'm going to share with you lessons that will help you save making the same mistakes if you're a product leader that is baking in AI into your product. The way you introduce AI pricing tells your users what you think of them. Price it wrong, and the backlash of your product is the least of your problems. Hi, my name is Anil Jaisingh. I'm a certified Scrum trainer with Scrum Alliance, adjunct professor at the NYU Graduate Program of Project Management, and a chief product manager for Concepts and Beyond, a thriving training and consulting company. Let's start with Zoom because it's the most dramatic and most instructive. March 2023, Zoom quickly updates its term of service. Buried in the legal documents is a clause granting Zoom perpetual worldwide non-exclusive royalty-free sub-licensable and transferable license to use customer content. And for what? Machine learning, artificial intelligence, training, and testing. Nobody notices. For 5 months, nothing happens. Then in August, a post on Hacker News surfaces this change. Stack Diary writes it up, and within 48 hours, the internet blows its mind. Scientists say they never use Zoom again. The Electronic Frontier Foundation flagged it. Fight for the Future launched a petition. The filmmaker Justin Bateman publicly quit the platform. And the criticism hit a nerve that went deeper. People started asking this question, that if the administrator consents and it's your boss at work who requires you to use Zoom, how is that really consent from you? That's the problem with consent-based data policies in enterprise software. The person clicking agree is rarely the person whose data is at risk. Now watch how fast Zoom backpedaled. CEO Eric Yuan called the original terms of services change a process failure, which is corporate speak for we got caught. Within 1 week, Zoom revised its terms 3 separate times. August 7th, blog post saying that they won't use content without customer consent. August 8th and 10th, continued backlash. Privacy experts point out that the consent language still has loopholes. August 11th, full reversal. Zoom says it will not use any customer audio, video, chat, or screen sharing content to train AI models. Period. 3 revisions in 7 days. That's not a strategy. That's damage control. So what did this do to their pricing options? It destroyed them. When Zoom launched AI Companion later that year, they made one of the most aggressive moves in enterprise software. AI features included at no additional cost with all paid plans. Sounds like a gift, right? It's not. It's a constraint. After the trust implosion, Zoom could not charge a premium for AI. Imagine the headlines. Zoom tried to steal your data. Now wants $10 a month for the AI they almost trained on it. They would have been destroyed. So free wasn't generosity, it was the only move left. And the free framing itself is a little misleading. You need a pro plan at $13.33 a month billed annually. If you want the advanced stuff, custom AI agents, deeper integration, that's another $12 per user per month for custom AI companion. So now you're looking at $25 a month per person for the full experience. But the positioning was right. Zoom's head of EMEA said it plainly. We want all our customers to be able to use all our AI features, not just a selected few. For a company that had lost massive trust, this was the only credible way out. Here's the takeaway, and it's a big one. Your data practices and your pricing strategy are not separate conversations. They're the same conversations. If your user doesn't trust how you handle their information, no price point in the world will work. Zoom's entire AI pricing architecture was shaped by terms of services that the CEO admitted shouldn't have happened. If you're building an AI product, lock down your data policies first. Before the pricing spreadsheet, before the tier structure, before once trust breaks, your pricing options narrow to exactly one. Give it away and hope people will come back. Now let's look at Slack. Slack's story is a little different. There was no scandal, no data grab, just a pricing decision that prioritized the parent's company vision over what users really wanted. April 2024, Slack launches AI as a separate add-on. $10 per user per month on top of your existing Pro or Business Plus plan. Enterprise pricing was custom but estimated around $15. But here's the catch that killed it. You have to buy AI for all paid users in your workspace. No option to give it to 20 people and skip the others. Everyone or no one. Think about that for a minute from a buyer's perspective. You're a 500-person company. Maybe 50 people would genuinely use AI summaries and smart search, but you're paying for all 500. That's an extra 5,000 a month for features that 90% of your team will never touch. It didn't last. By mid 2025, Slack killed the standalone AI add on entirely. Instead, they bundled AI features directly into the plan tiers and raised prices. Business Plus went from $12.50 per user per month to $15, a 20% jump. And a brand new enterprise tier showed up at $45 per user per month, more than double the old enterprise select price of $20. Now, you can turn AI features off if you don't want them, but here's the line that matters. The price doesn't change. You pay the same whether AI is on or it's off. So you're funding AI development whether you use it or not. To understand why Slack did this, you have to zoom out to the parent company. Salesforce didn't buy Slack to sell chat software. They bought Slack to be the front end of their entire AI ecosystem. Salesforce's language around this is revealing. They are calling Slack the front door to the agentic enterprise. They're building agent force integration, federated search across Salesforce records, workflow orchestrations, all running through Slack. The pricing increases reflected Salesforce's ambition for Slack, not Slack's users' demand for AI features. And this compounds. Salesforce enforces a mandatory 9% year-over-year price increase at renewal. Run that math over 4 years, and your cumulative cost increases 38%. That's not inflation, that's a business model. Now, to be fair to Slack, they did something smart at the lower end. Basic AI features, conversation summaries, huddle notes, trickle down to pro plans at no extra cost. That's a good move. Get people using AI in small ways, let them form the habit, then upsell them when they want more classic product-led growth. But the forced bundle at the business plus and the enterprise level, that's where it all falls apart. Bundling AI into existing plan works only when the value is undeniable to the majority of users. When every person on the plan says, oh wow, I need this, Slack's AI features, summaries, search, huddle notes are useful, they're not transformative. They don't clear the bar of how I'm happy to pay 20% more for this. When you force a price increase on features people don't ask for, you're not bundling value, you're creating resentment. And you're giving every procurement team a reason to shop around. Well, let's look at the last case study, which is GitHub Copilot. This is the one that hits closest to home for builders and developers. And it's the most instructive for anyone building or thinking about usage-based AI pricing. When GitHub Copilot launched, the pricing was clean. $10 a month for individuals, $100 a year if you paid upfront. Business seats at $19 per user. Enterprise pays $39 per seat. Straightforward. And for years, people loved it. Developers called it the best $10 they spent each month. The math was almost comically in their favor. At a blended rate of $75 an hour, Copilot paid for itself if it saved you 8 minutes. 8 minutes a month, Satya Nadella said Copilot drove over 40% of GitHub's revenue growth in 2024. More than 20 million developers signed up. This was a pricing success story, but that's in the past tense. April 2025, GitHub announces premium requests. The idea? The base AI model, GPT-4o, stays unlimited, but the more powerful models, Claude Sonnet, Gemini, O3 Mini, now have monthly caps. Pro users get 300 minimum requests per month. Business users, same. Enterprise gets 1,000. This sounds reasonable until you understand the multiplier system. Every model burns premium requests at a different rate. Gemini 2.0 Flash has a 0.25x multiplier. So one query costs a quarter of a request. But GPT-4.5? A 50x multiplier. One single query with GPT 4.5 eats 50 of your 300 monthly requests. 6 queries and you're finished for the entire month. Developers typically reported hitting this wall in 4 to 6 days. The community forums erupted. One developer wrote, 300 premium requests are not enough for Pro Plan. 300 per day is okay. Per month, ridiculous. Another said, I subscribed to Copilot with high expectations. Instead, I left feeling frustrated, constrained, and deeply let down. This also is very similar to the cursor pricing in July. What is the strategy with these changes, considering the backlash we've already witnessed? What are the options for developers who hit the cap? Upgrade to the new Pro Plus plan at $39 a month, 4 times the original price, or opt into metered billing at 4 cents per request and hope you don't get surprised by the bill at the end of the month. Meanwhile, Google released Gemini CLI with 28 to 56 times more requests for free. Developers started publicly weighing their options. Here's what makes it so damaging. GitHub didn't launch Copilot with these limits. They launched with unlimited access to premium models. They took it away, and that pattern, give generously, build dependency, and then introduce constraint, is the fastest way to destroy goodwill in software. I hope you're listening to this video, Mr. Nadella, because Copilot's mistake wasn't charging more. If they launched at $20 or $25 with these limits from day one, most developers would have evaluated the trade-off and made a decision. The problem was changing the deal. Users signed up for one thing and got something worse. And there's a deeper issue with usage-based pricing for AI tools specifically. When a developer is in flow, debugging, refactoring, exploring solutions, they did not need to think about whether this query is worth 4 cents or $2. The moment you introduce that calculation, you kill the thing that makes the tool valuable. You turn an assistant into a meter. Credit where it's due, though. GitHub's free tier, 2,000 code completions and 50 premium requests per month, is a smart acquisition funnel. And the base model at $10 a month is still unlimited. The value floor hasn't collapsed. They just built a ceiling that only the best users kept hitting. 4 patterns emerge from these 3 stories. First, trust comes before price. Zoom proved this. Once you've broken trust around data, your pricing flexibility evaporates. You end up giving your product away just to keep people in the room. Get your data policies bulletproof before you ever open a pricing conversation. Second, don't punish your power users. GitHub's most engaged developers, the one running 50 queries a day, the ones writing blog posts about how great Copilot is, the ones pulling their teammates onto the platform, those were the first people to hit the premium wall. Your heaviest users are your evangelists. If your pricing model makes them angry, you're taxing the people who sell your product for free. Third, bundle only when the value is self-evident. Slack raised prices and said, but you get AI now. If every user on Business Plus had an immediate, obvious, this changes how I work moment, the bundle would have been welcomed. Instead, most users experienced it as a cost. Increase for features they use occasionally. Bundle AI when value is very clear. That users would complain if you removed it. Not before. Fourth, anchor to outcomes, not compute costs. All 3 companies price based on what AI costs them to deliver. Token costs, model multipliers, infrastructure overhead. Users don't care about any of that. They care about whether the tool saves them 2 hours a week, catches errors they would have missed, or makes their team look sharper. The companies that win at AI pricing will sell the outcome. The ones that lose will sell the compute. Now, here's the counter argument, because I think it's important to be honest about this. AI is expensive to run. The models are getting more capable and more costly. GitHub wasn't wrong that unlimited access to GPT 4.5 at $10 a month is unsustainable. Zoom's free AI is subsidized by the price of the plans it's bundled. Slack is trying to fund genuine R&D. Somebody always pays. The question isn't whether to charge, it's whether you're transparent about the trade-off and whether the pricing structure you choose makes your users feel respected or exploited. That's the line. Zoom gave AI away because they had to. Slack forced the bundle because Salesforce wanted to. GitHub capped usage because the economists demanded it. 3 different strategies, 3 different triggers. None of them got it right. And that should tell you something. If you're building an AI-powered product, the pricing conversation is not a spreadsheet exercise anymore. It starts with a much simpler question. What promise am I making to my users, and can I keep the promise when the bill comes due? Get that right, and the pricing model will follow. Get it wrong, and you'll be rewriting your terms. If this was useful, do me a favor. Please hit subscribe, because for me to get all of these great stories to you, I need your support. I go deep on product strategy, AI for product leaders, and the kind of decisions that separate good products from great ones. Drop me a comment, ask a question. Feel free. I read all of them and I always answer them. I hope to see you in the next video.